husband, Jason. For me, my kind of story is I have struggled with depression my whole life, like ever since the 6th grade. Even back then I would write suicide letters, like I was suicidal back in 6th grade. That was kind of my story. And I never really got the help that I needed, couldn't find a solution for that with therapy and antidepressants and whatnot. And then in 2004,
But you had parental support.
I did. My parents were great. It wasn't like a bad family life, I have great parents, but it kind of made it worse because there was never a reason for it. And then in 2004, I actually ended up in a mental hospital because I was suicidal. So that's my story. And we had kids. We have 3 kids. My youngest was born last summer, and the day after she was born, I was in the hospital looking on Pinterest. I don't know if you guys can do that. Maybe it was asleep, but I saw a quote that said, "It's a shame for a woman to grow old without ever seeing the strength and beauty of what her body is capable." And I realized in that moment that I would soon be turning 30. It was my 29th birthday, the day after my daughter was born. And I would never be able to say, I wish I could look like I did in my 20s, because I had never tried. I felt like I had about 20 pounds to lose. I had not worked out since we had been married. I'd always, even in high school, had Wendy's every day, never had really tried. So that curiosity and I think a little bit of a midlife crisis of thinking, God, I'm going to turn 30 in a year, and all of a sudden my metabolism's going to drop off. Or just something happens on that 30th birthday. Everything changes, right? So I'm like, I need to get my act together now. And so I committed to working out. And I started just slowly just walking and running and stuff. And along that same time period, I was trying to be better, like spiritually, and be a better person. So I was working a lot on personal development. And I had an experience where I'm a religious person, and it was a religious experience, a little too sacred to probably share with everybody. But what I learned that day has kind of been the catapult to everything changing. Because I realized in that moment, this was November 15th last year, and this is when everything changed for me. I realized in that moment that I was a good person, and that hadn't really ever, I never had believed that before, that I was a good person. And I could see my potential, my husband's potential, and the potential of everybody around me. And for 2 weeks, I'd go to the grocery store, and I could see the potential of these people. And it was I wanted to go to these people and just shake them and be like, do you realize what you're worth? And what the capabilities and what you are capable of? It just, my sister was playing in this Alcohol Anonymous fireside. And I was there, and I knew all these people were struggling with addictions, but I could see what they're capable of. And it had such a profound effect on me. And a couple months after that, I found about Shakeology from stalking Scottie on Facebook. I didn't know him. We grew up in the same town, but I didn't know who he was. And I just kind of was reading about that. I did do all the research I had on Shakeology, and I was running over 20 miles a week, couldn't lose any weight, not a single pound, and started on Shakeology, and I lost 30 pounds in 4 months, just adding that to my running schedule. That's all that I did. And that's about when my husband started taking a Shakeology as well. And then, when I wanted to be a coach, I was so against it because I've never done an MLM in my life. I have been so against them. I've never had a home party in my life or Sensi, any of that kind of stuff, because I was morally against it. But I'm LDS, and there was a general conference. So it's exactly 6 months ago from now, because it's general conference this weekend. And there was a talk, and one of the leaders of the church talked about the experiences of his life and how he realized that when he was called to be a leader in the church, that he felt very inadequate because his father wasn't active in the church growing up. And he realized that it was because of those things that he was called to his position, not in spite of it. And I had been debating the idea of being a coach for the discount. But when I heard that, it just really hit me hard that all of my struggles with depression, everything in my life, like we've, been through bankruptcy. My husband was without work for a long time, and we couldn't feed the kids. We had to gather up light bulbs and batteries, cleaning products, return them to Walmart to get grocery money, feed our kids, and I realized things like that I didn't want other people to go through. I wanted people to see purpose in a life, to see what I could see in them, what I could finally see in myself. I wanted people to have security and not ever worry about feeding the kids and being homeless. Have to worry about that like it was a concern for us. And I recognized that as inadequate as I felt, all those experiences led me to this point where I needed to be a coach because of those things and not in spite of them. And so I signed up to be a coach. And the thing is that this has completely changed my life. I mean, I am for the first time in my entire life off any antidepressants. This is Shakeology is all that I need to maintain that, which is huge. I can't tell you what that means for me to feel that way. And losing the weight has been amazing. I thought, I only needed to lose 20, but I lost 35. And it's completely changed my life in more ways than one, and seeing it change other people's lives. Like, the possibilities and what we have here, is amazing. And it's not something to be taken lightly. And that's why I'm passionate about it. And I think I shared too much, but that's it.